What's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Bluff City Nerd here. I'm back with another video, and today with my man Wrestling Rants 901, and we're gonna come with you guys with some brand new wrestling news. I'm gonna leave a description to his channel in the description box below, so you can go subscribe to him. He's got some really good videos for you guys to watch. And today we're just gonna go into some quick wrestling news today. Chris Jericho finally got his AEW championship belt back. And let me tell you, the fact that it went missing to begin with is quite hilarious, because I think he was like at a bar having some drinks trying to celebrate his victory and everything. And the next thing you know, the belt goes missing. I think someone stole it, but they ended up finding it on the side of the road somewhere. But whoever picked it up, I'm sure, shout out to you, you know what I'm saying, giving Chris Jericho his belt back. I think that thing's worth like 30 G's or something. I don't know what the person would have thought they were going to do with it after stealing it, because they would have, if you try to sell it or something, they would eventually find you and then arrest you for theft, man. That's just crazy. Was the WWE draft in 2019 coming soon into the fall? It's coming in the fall, excuse me. Right after the deal with Fox on SmackDown, because the Superstar Shakeup thing is just not working. It's just too much randomness, too much nonsense, and they need to do this. Like, they need to go back to how they did it originally, and have, I don't know if they're gonna do the two general managers thing again. I think they scrapped that idea, but they're gonna have where you can see what superstars are gonna go to what brand, and I think that keeps it a little bit more organized, and then that keeps the anticipation a little bit higher. And I think that it's just a better way of doing it, because like, I don't think anyone really cared for the Superstar Shakeup to begin with. I know I personally did, because it's just like, okay, these guys are over here and these guys are over here, and that's it. It's just like, okay, the draft kind of built like the intensity and suspicion. Like, okay, maybe these guys go over here, these guys go over here, and then maybe some fans will have their little fantasy draft. Who knows? They might want to do that too. Now, SmackDown will come to fall. SmackDown will go to the Fox network in the fall, and I don't know how well that'll work, because of the fact that they're still struggling to get more people to watch the SmackDown show on USA Network, and Fox requires them to have at least 3 million viewers a week. But they're gonna have Eric Bischoff do some work behind the scenes on the SmackDown show, but from what I've heard, he hasn't even watched most of the current product, and it's kind of become a joke. He's become the butt of every joke backstage. I can't talk today. Backstage, since he hasn't really been keeping up with much of the product, so how can he know what the fans and everybody is looking for and everything like that? That's really a huge concern Fox has, if they can really get those views that they need, because otherwise they might just pull out of the deal. Next, the draft will compete with AEW, because there's a possibility that they'll have the draft on the NXT show on the same night of the AEW taping. Now, since NXT is going to move to the USA Network, it will compete with AEW week after week, and I think that'll make a lot of things interesting, because when you have two top major wrestling promotions going against each other like that, it creates more of an interesting atmosphere, kind of like how it did in the late 90s with WCW and WWF at the time. And I think that, well, personally, I'll probably be watching both shows, because I'm such a huge wrestling fan, and I think that it'll make both promotions work harder, because they're going to want to earn everybody's viewership. They're going to want to earn that, monetization, earn all that, because at the end of the day, man, this is a huge business. And then they got WWE finally has some major competition after almost 2 whole decades of no competition, after Vince bought out the whole competition, which is the reason why the product's been slipping and just going downhill. But now this will force Vince to probably, have everybody backstage step their game up and get the product back to where it needs to be. Last thing I want to talk about, recently I've heard Ric Flair wants to get into some has some legal issues going on with WWE, since They haven't paid him for having Becky Lynch use his trademark slogan, "The Man," which it's, to me, I think that they should have been paid him for that, because I mean he started that. That they didn't just come out. They didn't just come up with that on their own. He started that whole thing, and the fact that they're not giving him the proper compensation for that, that says a lot about them, especially since Vince has been ignoring him. Triple H has been ignoring him, from what I've heard. To me, it's just plain wrong. If you started something and then they know that he has that trademark, so anyone who uses it, he has to be paid for that, as they should. And it's like they're not wanting to pay him for that. It's like they have all this money now in WWE from Fox, Saudi Arabia, so it doesn't really make sense how they just decide, oh, we're not going to pay him for that. And to me, that's wrong. So I can't really get mad at Ric Flair for wanting to, take WWE to court over this, because, like, hey, man, I'm just like, Rick, man, get your money, man. Get your money. Shout out to you, man. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And shout out to my man, Wrestling Rants 901, for helping me put this video together. Yeah, man, and I'll leave a link in the description to his channel, so you guys can check him out as well. He got some really great stuff over there. I'm Bluff City Nerd. I'll let you guys later.